This is my certificate that was given to me from the Creed, certificate badge of honor. I felt very proud of it.
Mrs. Theoline Wellington, known affectionately as Tit-Tit or Akela, dedicated many years to spending time with boys in the Boy Scouts. Today, we have the privilege to speak with her. Let's hear her story. This is National Treasures, the story of Theoline Wellington.
This picture I'm holding now bring back years. I had this Miss Joanna Clark, just after she came from Jamaica. I think she came here in 1962. And I invited her in to join the park. When we go camping, we always have campfires at nights. We used to cook their own food. We had some leaders who would come in and cook for us. It was very good camp days. Some of the boys didn't eat this, some of the boys didn't eat that, but by the time we got through, they were all eating, we were eating everything. But camping days was good. And then we would camp out in we used to have a big building in East End, but they had to sleep on the floor on their sleeping mats. And in the night, we put them ready, have to sit, and every man had his spot. But in the morning, everybody bundled up in one lump. I don't know how they made it, but they were all bundled up like crab. That was a sight up in Gun Bay, and never forget that in that night. They were bundled up. This award was presented to me from the Ministry of Community Affairs, Sports, Women, Youth, and Culture, 26th of April, 1999. My fondest memory was just having laughter, playing with them, having laughter. Being young, they were young and I was young too, just jumping around with them, playing games. And we used to have a game, musical game. I would play the piano at the church hall, and they would have a game called musical chairs. And I loved that game. Whenever the music stopped, you must find a chair to sit, but every round, a chair is missing. And whenever that game is stopped, then whoever is missing have to come out. Musical chairs. I love that game. I can remember some games we used to play for them. It was and you would start, it was 15 balls or 20 balls, whichever. We would give the first one a message. This message may contain a warship is coming in on Monday and is expecting the Cubs to visit it. And that prick-hate person took that message right down the line. And by the time it reached the line, it was no ship or no nothing. The message went off to something else. It was a joke in that park meeting. Oh, well, this was my leader, Miss Joanna Clark, and my name was Akela for the park. And this is me. And this is Kirk and Nixon's son, and the Kirk, and this is Pete Worms. This is a Worms, Reggie Nixon's son. And I think this is a little boy, because this is Reggie Nixon's head boy. Some of them are married, some of them have children. Some of them still call me Akela. Some of them are doctors. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are cooks. It's a variety of quite a big boys that have in the world today that is holding good jobs.
Now, Mr. O.C. will interview her and take us down her memory lane.
Good afternoon. I don't know if I should call you Akela. I will from a formal standpoint, but, we call you Tit-Tit and Tits. And of course, your name is Miss Theoline as well. But I will refer to you as Akela. And when I stepped on the porch a few minutes ago, you greeted me. And you greeted me with the Scouts handshake. Tell us about the Scouts handshake and what that symbolizes.
Well, the Scout handshake, I would say it's better than the ordinary handshake. This is love, friendship. It is a friendship shake. Once you shake your hand, you're always a Scout with the left. You can shake other people with your right hand, but that is not our sign.
Now, and of course, in the Cubs and in the Scouts, we didn't refer to you by your real name. The real name, your Scout name is Akela.
Akela.
Tell us about that. How did you end up with the name Akela?
Well, Miss Francis was the one who was the first leader of our pack. And we had a jungle book. We got our names from the jungle book. And that's where we get our names. We have a Mowgli, Akela, and Ka, and different animal names. So Akela is the leader of the pack. That's where we get these Akela names from, jungle book.
Now, give us the names of some of those other persons who were involved in scouting and cubbing with you.
I remember that Miss Joyce, there was Miss Joyce, but I separated Miss Joyce Hilton. And then we had Faith Turner, Queenie. She was a leader. She used to come. And we had all mixed up. Lorna Borden, who was a pack. That we all had leaders. We were under where Mr. Jones from Jamaica came down here. And about 20 of us joined that pack. And that's where we get our names and studies scouting. Hobby.
Teacher Mark Trio, tell us about him and scouting. We know that
he was our scout master.
Okay.
I know about Teacher Mark Trio. I know about Mr. Reverend John Gray.
Uh-huh.
I know about Clifton Hunter.
Mr. Val Anderson.
And Val Anderson was our commissioner in my days.
Now, there is a name that, if you're not in scouting, you would not be familiar with it. And that's the name Dobson. And we had Dobson Hall, named after a man by the name of, I think his first name was John Dobson.
Yes.
And of course, that was located right next to where the old fort was.
Yes.
And it wasn't unusual for us to meet our meetings there.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and that environment.
Well, we used to go there and have our meetings there. And we used to go in the back and have certain bonfires and little picnics in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then our main meeting was in the hall. And I can remember one evening, it was a very bad evening. I think he marked us something called the dogs again.
Okay.
And he was out there playing with us. He went to the clubs over there. And Mr. Dr. Bush's son came. I made a slingshot and licked it. Oh, he called right up. It was a very sad evening.
Yeah.
It was some video I never remembered quickly.
Yeah.
And we had quite a few squirrels. I can name some of them. We had E. Barrage. We had Desmond Butler's son. We had Sybil McLaughlin's two boys. And I think I had Frank Kelly. Quite a few old boys.
Now, what about the names like Adrian Briggs and Kelly Thompson?
I had Kelly. Kelly was in scouting.
Scouting.
In scouting.
Denzel Barnes and Rennie Barnes.
Rennie Barnes, they were scouting. They were scouters.
Antonio Hawkins.
Yeah, well, he was our commissioner. He was always as two, as a group.
Uh-huh.
Rupert
McCoy.
He was more a leader. They were all leaders. Like we were the little boy at Cub Scouts.
Okay. And we always hear Dr. Steve Mark. Talk about his scouting days. Was he as bad as people made him out to be in terms of when I say bad, I mean mischievous?
Yes, he was big trouble. Big trouble. Yes.
Now, many of these names that you have mentioned their lives have been changed through scouting, especially in the seafaring industry as well. But before we go there, talk a little bit about yourself and how your involvement in scouting influenced your life and the way that you look at life.
Well, those days, I would say, in those boyhood days, we were good boys. They were very obedient. And if one thing I asked them to do, they do it. And in the Cub Scout meetings, we do all sorts of things, sewing on their button on their shirt, polishing their shoes, and when they get up in the morning, instead of their mama picking up their shoes and socks or whatever, they were taught to put up these things in place before and keep their room in order.
And do you think that impacted them when they went out to sea, that they had to work on their own?
They learned quite a bit from scouting and these.
And of course, the knot tying and the camping.
Camping and the tying and the
yes,
cooking, yes.
that would have helped as well.
So, yes, you went to Eastern for a cup camp, and never forget Tony, not Tony, Mr. Sam Power boy. We call him Sonny.
Sonny, yes.
And
His
he
mother
was
used to live right down there on South Road.
and he was supposed to prepare breakfast for us that morning. And when we came up for the boys, now in order, so like that, we said, Akira, we bought some good tea this morning for us, to you. You see, good tea? Yeah, man, this tea is good. When we come to find out it was poison tea. And we didn't try to drink it, that he was just getting it ready. We said this was good tea, but he picked the wrong tea bush. But nobody got hurt.
Now, we spoke a little bit about Dobson Hall and the
yeah.
old fort there, but there were other locations that we also held our meetings, the town hall, and tell us about the Princess Royal Park when that was first built and established.
Oh, when I first built, we used to go there for park meetings too. We used to have some nice games around the Princess Royal Park. And the young Nixon shop was just at the corner.
Do you recall your earliest involvement in scouting? When did you first become involved in scouting? Were you ever a part of the guildry or the guides and then transition over to scouting?
Yeah, I was a bird guide.
Okay.
A bird guide.
And who would have been the leader then?
That was, I think, Miss Una Bush, you know.
It's Una.
Una Bush, yes.
And for those who know who Miss Una Bush is,
she was my teacher.
And then she was also the manager of the
bank,
government savings bank at the time as well, right? Yeah.
She was a teacher on the Teacher Hill. I go to Teacher Hill School, and Miss Una was my Mr. Teacher Hill. No, Mr. Hill. The teacher, Miss Una, was his secretary. And we all went to school today. That's across the church. We all went to school there.
Mr. Hicks. Remember,
Mr. Goes on minister.
Remember him? Or what?
Yeah.
He was pretty much involved in, not so much in scouting, but
in order.
Yeah.
If you go to church and you misbehave, you just come and lead you to do it.
Really?
Yes. Very good.
Serious
yeah,
man?
He was very strict. He was very strict in church. Yeah, Mr. Hicks is my minister too.
Yeah. Now, I used to have a history of misplacing my woggle for my scarf. And of course, when it came to parade day, I would have difficulty finding it. My mother would always row with me, or sometimes I'd even get a beating if I couldn't find it. But we were pretty creative when it came to making woggles. Talk about some of the materials that we used to make woggles.
Like at first, we used to order our stuff from Jamaica. The little leather things.
Yes.
But here I don't know which one the boys came up to and said, you know, they're too expensive. You can get on that for a piece of plate, PVC. And from then we started making it on the PVC.
And then there was a nut that we used to find on the beach, and you would take it and cut it a V shape to the top.
Yes.
And cross the bottom and use that as a woggle as well.
Too.
Yeah. Now, how was it? Did it take a long time to get scouting material from Jamaica?
No, it was. We just ordered scout shop and they shipped them down to us. Just not that order. I was a saleswoman. I stood back up and sent to Jamaica.
Did you ever get an opportunity to go to a jamboree?
Yeah, I went to jamboree twice.
Yeah, really? Well, tell us about that. The jamboree, it's the first one.
I never had no water.
Really?
Me, Miss Vanisha and Jack was in a singing group with us, and we had I think it was Kevin Elsa boy and 3 or 4 scouters went up. Yes.
And this was
and we had a scout master
Jamaica?
named to Jamaica, Cubcat. And it's all iron. That was very interesting. But in the morning, I can't have enough, no water. I said, we know in the hand neither. But that was really interesting. And they made it, we made it. And a few boys on Jamaica went up and they did it.
Yeah. Now we know.
I think that his scout master, I can't remember the scout master name. I don't know where he lived.
So both times you went to Jamaica, or did you go to other?
No, I guess Jamaica.
Just Jamaican.
I don't like traveling that much.
we know that the Scout motto is be prepared, right?
That is your Scout motto.
Yes, yeah.
Or was it do your best?
Do your best, right? So if we use the Scout motto, be prepared, how would you say that scouting and cubbing prepared you for the life that you have lived since then, and to get you to the ripe old age of, I shouldn't say old age, ripe age of 94 years? We know that there are certain principles that we live by in scouting in terms of healthy lifestyles and stuff like that. How has that helped you in your life?
Quite a bit. Up to old age. Up to old age.
No, I know what
I believe in principles and properly put together.
Yes, and I know there's a joke that one of my friends told me when she interviewed you and spoke to you, and she said, how do you stay so young? And your answer to was, mind my own business.
Mind my own business.
Let's talk about some of your Scout Cub memorabilia, some of the things that you have collected over the years. Some people have not been so fortunate. I've spoken to some people and they say, I had my Cubs cap, I had my scarf, I had my woggle, I had my badges, but I lost them during Ivan. Have you been able to retain? How much have you been able to retain?
I still have my uniform and cap. I have all of my stuff here.
Wow.
Woggle and your bead and the hat, everything complete. My uniform is ready there now.
And when was the last time you actually actively participated in a parade?
I stopped with Cub Scouts 5 years ago. I gave up. I joined the Cub Pack in 1953. I joined Scouting.
1953. I was 2 years old.
Yeah. 53 I joined. The big investigator at
until 2018. That's a long time. What kept you in the movement so long? What was
just
it?
to be fun with the boys. I love the boys. All those boys. I'm on the post. Hey, Akela. Akela come looking to you. And sometimes they bring my mangoes. They still remember the good old days. Yeah. I have more bullet boyfriends now than girls. Yes.
Would they consider you to have been
strict?
Were you strict when you went?
I had a little sore point more than Clark. Clark was more strict. But I then told him some function we had. And you said you could get away with me. Get away with some little I couldn't get away from Clark. She was strict. But I would pass it over and say, yes.
Okay. Anything else that you want to tell us about your memories about scouting?
I would say scouting is good. I wouldn't mind if I wasn't too old, I would have been in it with a temper. Scouting is good. You learn so many things. Right now, Tony Mark Field, you say, I can still shine my shoes, You should bring the boys out and bring their shoe polish and stuff and bring their shoes, right? And they make them to the house to shine their shoe. Up to now, Tony, see, I can still shine my shoes, and I say, I can't see you keeping up your promise. They keep up some of the things they learn.
I learned a lot of things. Sewing on your buttons, sewing on your own badges. You would encourage people, don't let your parents sew it on to you. Let them show you how to sew it on.
We used to bring the car to thread and the needles and buttons and carry them up in with buttonholes, should belts, and learn them how to sew them. They learn quite a bit.
And again, we believe that scouting was it introduced by Mr. Dobson, Colonel Dobson?
I think so, that's how, I don't know about that back line, but I think so. He was the founder of scouting, but he gave us that hall, that piece of land.
Yeah. And you and I were talking earlier before the interview as well, and Dobson Hall it was called, and it was actually built exclusively
for
scouts.
And they took it from us.
But government used it as a school.
Yeah, a school. That is it.
But if I do remember with that, wasn't there a part right on the porch towards the sea where the scouts, the shop was?
Yeah, the shop was a scout shop.
Yeah.
It was a scout shop.
Yeah, we missed
But
those old
I know
days.
about it, but I kept my scout things home. I had my shop home. Everybody come to this shop. And from all over the island, I supplied the uniform. After I came out, I just changed my jeans and get shirts. I quite couldn't get it, so I ordered all the shirts and cap and goggles and socks. And I didn't know that was shoes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Miss Vernicia from East End. She was
She was my
involved in
good
scouting.
buddy.
Yes, yeah.
She was my good buddy.
Really?
Yeah, we will go over 2 of us work again. 2 of us scouting together. If we go camping, we all meet together at East End. Vernicia was very close to us.
And of course, these days, now we'll just talk about the modern day. Winston, Mr. Hale, I know you and him get along quite well, always cracking jokes and everything else. And how do you compare scouting now to what it was in your earlier days?
Earliest days, I think scouting was much better. Scouting was much better. In days gone by, it was more upgraded than what it is now. Because you could not go to a parade half. You had to be properly put together. We had a scoutmaster here, Levine Smith.
Yes.
And the teacher Mark, they kept boys in order. If you're not in order, they're sending you back home. That was we had training from them, and we just picked it up and you know the properly dressed. And all the 2-color shoes and socks. No.
In our day, I can speak for mine. In the 60s, 50s, and 60s, we didn't have to compete with Little League, softball, football, and all those things. We played football, during our Cubs meetings and stuff. But now there's so many other things that you have to compete to get the young people's attention and get them actively involved in, because there are so many other things going on. But the one good thing about scouting is that while we try to adapt to the new environment that we're in, certain things don't change. Like, for instance, that handshake that we always use, that means that is so important. And I read something once about the handshake, and it was a member of the, I believe, either the Ashanti or the Zulu tribe, a tribal chief.
I think so.
When he met the Englishman, and he shook his hand, with the left hand, and that was a sign of trust, in the person, because you would have the spare in your right hand. So
you couldn't do that.
You would normally, if you want to make sure that the person doesn't use the spare, you would shake with the right hand to, disable that right hand. But the true demonstration of trust and friendship, using that left hand, keeping the right hand free, but you would never use that right hand, to smite, the other person. So that is extremely important. So there's some things within scouting that don't change.
We were always Sea Scouts.
Yes.
Over Hurricane I-1, I bet my ceiling went. I post up in, and I threw the 30 scout caps, because my ceiling, and the children are going to bury it.
Yeah.
You see, Sea Scouts, Sea Scouts are always Sea Scouts. You remember we had a yacht club? We should take it and do
the sailing and stuff. Yeah.
That's what we should be keeping up.
Now, when you traveled abroad, was it surprising to people, because the Sea Scouts would always be dressed in their white and spick and span
put together?
And I'm made to understand that there were, you got so many compliments when you travel overseas when you saw that white uniform with the Sea Scouts.
Sea Scouts.
So if you had you realize there would still be some things that you would change, that you would retain.
It's a seaman country.
Yeah.
It's a seaman country.
So you could just read it. Oh.
This was
Quincentennial
message. Celebration.
Celebration. And just read it out because it's talking about what you said. This is your words.
My profound thanks and appreciation to you for counting me worthy to receive this distinguished award to the Quincentennial Ambassador. Needless to say, how surprised I was when I was told that I was among such an elite group of honorees. The ceremony was most impressive and very grandly carried out. Well done, committee. I love my country, and in my humble way, I derive much pleasure from doing all I can do to make Cayman a better place. My motto has always been, let me lay by the side of the road and be a friend to man. Daily, I find like someone whom I can lend a friend a hand. I'm aware that the works of the committee will be continuing through this year and perhaps beyond. Therefore, I will use this opportunity to encourage you in all future activities to maintain the high standard you have set yourself. Thank you again for bestowing such an honor on me. May God bless and continue as always.